piecemeal these together. So this was the floppy emulator that I bought, the 720K. Comes with a 2 gig flash drive. It was local, so I didn't have to wait 30 days for it to come in. So that's why I decided to go with this one. Alright, so here's the box it came in. I'm trying to do this with one hand. And get some hardware, CD, flash drive, and of course the emulator. So one thing I read up on is it says we have to change these jumpers. So we'll remove these and then we'll put one back on the second to last set of pins. Jumpers pull off pretty easily, and I reinstalled one on the second to last set of pins. The machine looks like there's 4 screws. They're going to have to be removed to get the front panel off, and then it looks like there's only 2 screws here that actually hold the unit in, but we'll see once I get this thing opened. Okay, I got the cover off, and there's some wires there, so don't tug on the cover too hard, just try and lay it off to the side. And it looks like there are actually 4 mounting screws, and then there's 2 on the bottom as well to get the drive out. So we'll do that now. Okay, so I got the 4 screws off of the mount for the drive, and now we're just going to disconnect the flat ribbon cable and the power cable off the back. So now that the drive is out, I have to take off these mounting brackets off the side here and then mount them onto the new emulator. So I'll go ahead and pause again and switch that over. One thing I want to note is on the floppy drive, it's a metal frame, so the screws are machine screws, and on the floppy emulator it's a plastic case. In that case, it came with a little bag of screws, self-tappers, so those are the ones that you have to use to mount the brackets back on the emulator. Okay, so I have the jumpers removed and one installed back on the second to last set of pins. I have the brackets mounted to the floppy emulator, and now we're ready to go back into the machine. Okay, so I have it mounted back into the machine. So you can see the cables there. So one thing I noticed was this hanging out here, and that didn't come off the drive, but if you look at the board right here, there are 2 pins sitting up, so that's got to get connected back on there once you before you close the cover again. Okay, so I was going to connect the cables back on, but they don't really reach. And looking back at the drive, so the floppy drive is a little bit longer. So looking at the back side, there was this cover that was over this, and there are 2 screws, one here and one at the bottom, holding that cover on. And if you look over here, there is a bracket to hold the cable still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen those up, and I'm going to slide a little bit more slack into the cable so that I can connect it on the other side to the drive. Okay, so I think I have enough slack on here now so that I can get these cables on here. A couple notes. So I loosened up these 2 screws so I can pull the wire through. But the flat ribbon cable has this little white block going over the wire. So if you just put your finger in here and pull these clips away, this separates, and then you'll be able to slide more cable up through to where you need it, and then just clamp it back on there. You need that on there, so don't just take it off. Just put it back on. Have the rear cover back on with 2 screws. I have the wires connected inside. Don't forget to connect that black one back to the board. And now I'm ready to close this thing up and test it out.